Hey guys, Trevor the Great here again with the last battle report from my recent 50-point Steamroller tournament. Obviously, it is an eight-player tournament, so we're only playing 3 rounds. If you have not caught my last 2 Batreps, I lost the first game, Darius versus Terminus. I played really badly, so I lost. That's how it goes. Second game was much closer, Resnick versus Darius. Ended up coming down to a caster kill by Resnick on Darius just because I neglected to move Darius out of Resnick's threat range and paid for it with the game. Although I think if I hadn't done that, I might have won. I had a pretty good chance of winning on tiebreakers, so that was a bad play on my part. But this is round 3, so I'm sitting on no wins, 2 losses. And so I'm kind of at the bottom of the pile here. Round 3 against another Signar player, so a mirror matchup. I was locked into using my epic Stryker list, which I did not mind. Even though Stryker is very aggressive and relies a lot on charging, and this is a game against pHaley, who has temporal barrier. This radial deployment means that we're going to be very far away from each other at the beginning of the game. Temporal barrier is not going to come into play that early. And I have enough shooting to be able to actually have a decent shooting match against my opponent's army. My opponent brought to the game a unit of gun mages with the officer marshaling a defender, Iona and Holt, a cyclone, and a max unit of long gunners, and then a min unit of storm lances with the solo Catherine Lattimore. And then, yeah, I said Iona and Holt. No Squire, though, which was interesting. So Haley's control area was not as large as it could have been, which is bad for her because she really does like the larger control area for temporal barrier. My army, just go over my army again real quick. It is a unit of Stormblades with the UA, a unit of Gun Mages with the UA, the Black 13th Gun Mage Strike Team, a Stormclad bonded to Stryker, a Lancer in Stryker's battle group, a Journeyman Warcaster with a Hunter in his battle group, a Hunter marshaled to the Gun Mages, and then a Squire and Runewood. So pretty cool list going on. So I don't remember what the name of this scenario is. It is the one with the big 12-inch zone in the middle, and to score on the zone, we need to contest one of the 4 flags with our caster, and then 2 points will win if we control zone and contest the flag. So obviously a scenario that's a little better for Haley because she does like to hang back and she can sit on one of those flags. Stryker likes to be up close and personal, casting spells all by himself, but he does have a Lancer, so he could camp one of those flags and just try to get points. Or I could be very aggressive and try to get as much damage off on Haley as possible. So we'll see how the game goes. This is my deployment. The Hunters, they had advanced deploy. I didn't deploy them yet, so that's not how they are deployed. I think they got deployed on the hill. Other than that, yeah, his gun mages on the on my left side, my gun mages on my right. I'm going to try to take out those long gunners as soon as possible before they can start killing everything. The lances are going to be a big deal, but I think if I rebuke them, I can shut them down pretty easily. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is the bottom of round 1. Everything ran up, basically. Not a lot to say there. Obviously, Stormblades on my side. I won the roll to go first. Stormblades running in on the left-hand side. They're going to get torn up by those gun mages, so what they're going to try to do, basically, is just stay alive to accumulate for the Stormblade. Forgot to mention my opponent does have Epic Iris. She's sitting in the middle of the forest there, sort of off to the left-hand side of the photo. Other than that, my gun mages in the Black 13th moving up onto the right-hand side. They're going to try to. The gun mages can go up in the center and try to kill the a couple of the long gunners anyway. The long gunners are going to have to choose between shooting at the warjacks and shooting at the long gunners, shooting at the gun mages. Either one of them could do damage. So hopefully I'll be able to force some hard decisions on that point side. I'm hoping the Black 13th can do a little bit of damage to the Storm Lances and Catherine Lattimore there. I moved up the Lancer. He ran up, and then Stryker boosted a Rebuke onto the Storm Lances and got a Rebuke off, so there's going to be no charging or special attacks from them for the next rounds, which is going to be great. Other than that, my Jack's sitting on the hill trying to stay away from all the crazy shooting that's going to come at them, and just trying to force my opponent away from me and threatening that flag. Okay, so I think I missed a couple photos in here. I'm not sure how it all worked out, but I think it might be the bottom of round 3 or so. So what ended up happening here is my opponent just continued to move up. He moved up Catherine Lattimore. He ran into the Black 13th just to try to hold them up. They do have gunfighters, so in my turn they turned around and just blew her away with brutal damage shots. That was pretty easy. He also moved up with Iris and fired at one of my Stormblades and killed him with Sniper. I thought that was interesting and probably a misplay because I did have Arcane Shield up on the Stormclad, and without shooting at the Stormclad, he allowed me to keep my Arcane Shield and be allocated focus next round. Now he moved up his Cyclone into the zone to take the zone, and then between shots from his Defender and his Cyclone and the Long Gunners were able to kill the Hunter that was contesting the zone. So he did take a point from that, 2 points to win, obviously. But without disrupting the Stormclad was in range of his Cyclone and was able to get 4 focus and charge in and kill him while still electro-leaping to Iris and killing her as well, which cleared out the zone and gave me a point in my turn. So I think that was a pretty big misplay. Iris could have pretty much shut down that Jack, but I'm not sure why he didn't do that. I guess maybe he was afraid of getting countercharged by the Stormblades if he moved up too close. I don't know. But it put me in a very commanding position because now I do have a Stormclad in the zone that's sitting on armor 22. Iris is dead, so he's got no way to remove it. I again rebuked the Storm Lances, and I think at one point in here he feeded with pHaley. pHaley sitting on the flag there in the back. He feeded with pHaley and caught the Storm Lances and the Long Gunners in, and they got a couple shots at the Stormclad, did a couple points of damage, but armor 22 meant it was pretty safe. And then the Storm Lances just fired a whole bunch at the Lancer, but with concealment he wasn't able to do a lot of damage because it is defense 15. So I'm in a very, very strong position right now. He's got really not a lot that can deal with what I have. I do have a point as well after killing the Cyclone in the center. And so we're tied in points, but it's going to be very difficult for him to be able to contest the zone and stop me from getting additional points. Okay, here's the bottom of the next round. I'm not sure exactly what round it is. I'm going to go with 3 or 4. Let's go with 4. Bottom of round 4. My opponent in his turn was moving up and was moving up with his Storm Lances. I assumed he was going to actually, no, he couldn't have done that. Never mind. But I kind of assumed that he was going to run the Storm Lances into the zone until I remembered that they can't run or charge because they are rebuked from Stryker. Stryker spending about 3 focus turns to just keep them shut down, which is very handy for me. So they advanced into the Lancer and just tried to swing at it and do damage, but they weren't really able to do a lot of damage to it just because they didn't have the cavalry charge bonus and weren't really able to do anything to it. Other than that, he was moving his gun mages around in order to attack my Stormblades, and didn't move any of them into the zone. So while he's moving them, I asked him, "Do you want to contest the zone?" And he looked at the board and went, "Yeah, I guess I have to in order to not lose this turn, because if he didn't contest the zone, I would just win on 2 control points, and the game would be kind of over right then." So he did move 3 gun mages into the zone to contest it. The rest of them fired at the Stormblades, killed a couple of them. His Long Gunners shot at the gun mages and rolled ridiculously high, and were able to kill 3 of them, I think. Not even combined ranged attacking, just like hitting on 10s and then auto killing. He rolled a lot of 10s and 11s. It was a lot. Anyway, in my turn, I retaliated by basically stuffing up my plan and not winning the game. There were a couple things that I could have done that would have made this way better. I moved up Stryker to get the Stormclad in his control range, and that allowed the Stormcloud to benefit from the bonded bonus that Stryker has with him. Obviously, he accumulates a focus from the Stormblades. So the Stormblades assaulted into the gun mages, missed a bunch of their attacks because they are only mat 7. They need 8s to hit. That is not very good odds. So I was able to combine combine melee attack. I think one group of Stormblades onto some gun mages and kill 1 or 2 of them, but not very much. The officer actually went in and hit with his assault shot and actually killed. I think he only killed 1 because I rolled really badly on blast damage, but that was pretty interesting. That almost never happens with these guys. Only Rat 5 makes it very difficult to hit with the range attacks that they get. But what I realized I could have done is given Path to Victory on to them from Runewood, which I forgot about, which could give them +2 on their charge attack roll. So that would have made it much easier to kill the gun mages. So I moved up Stryker so that the Stormcloud was in his control range, so he benefited from the bond, which gave him a boosted attack roll on his first swing. So his first swing, he swung at one of the gun mages, hit and killed him. Electroleaped onto a second gun mage and killed him as well. So there's 1 gun mage left in the zone. I couldn't kill him with the Stormblade that assaulted him. So it was down to the Stormcloud. And I swung it with him with my buckler and missed, and then bought an attack with my sword and missed again. And what I realized I could have done is boosted the attack with a buckler, which would have made it much more likely for it to have hit, and then it would have auto-killed him. But I was thinking too hard about buying additional attacks. So between that and forgetting Runewood's ability, I did not kill the last gun mage that was in the zone and didn't win the game this round. Okay, so here's going to be the last photo of the game. Obviously, we went one more turn. My opponent didn't really have anything that he could have assaulted, that he could have contested the zone with. I guess, in theory, he could have run his long gunners up into the zone in order to contest it. I mean, it would have just delayed the game a little bit more and basically given me more army points destroyed. So he didn't do that. Instead, he sat there with the long gunners and continued to fire at the gun mage. I don't think he killed anything anymore. So sitting at 4 gun mages, he needed to kill 4 to get half points for the unit. So he only killed 3, which was pretty good for me. In my turn, I tried to get as many points out as possible. Maneuver the Lancer around the edge of the Storm Lances, moved Stryker up, rebuked the Storm Lances, velocityed him back a little bit, so he was just in control range with the Stormcloud. The Stormcloud got his boosted attack, swung at the last gun mage, and killed him. I remembered to put Path to Victory on the Stormblades this turn, and they assaulted the gun mages again, and I think killed all but 2, I think. So only 2 gun mages left. My gun mages just continued to fire at the long gunners and killed a couple more. I guess they could have fired at Iana and Holt, but I really didn't want to have them get killed by Holt's little gun shot that he does when you shoot at Iana. So that was pretty much the game. After I killed the last gun mage, I won the game on control points. Got about 23 victory points or so, army points, just because I'd killed the Cyclone, which was 9, half the gun mages, Catherine Lattimore and Iris, and got a bunch of points out of that. So a little bit of a disappointing game. In all honesty, it was over very quickly, but I don't think my opponent was really playing to the scenario, and honestly, I can see where he's coming from, given that I'm not a very good scenario player either. I did give up a point in the beginning. All I had in the zone was the Hunter, and that got killed pretty easily. I didn't really expect it to die in one round from the shooting from the long gunners. I guess I should have foreseen that, but I guess practice makes perfect, and the more I'm playing Steamroller, I feel like the better I'm getting at it. So I ended up coming 5th out of 8 players, so sort of the top of the bottom of the pile, but still about middle of the road. With the number of control points and army points that I was able to get out of this game and the previous game where I played Resnick, and we both pretty much grinded each other's armies down to dust, I was able to basically come out on top of the players who had lost more, who had lost the most games. So I guess that's that's small consolation because I did go 1-2, but I'm still feeling pretty good for my second tournament ever. I'm feeling like I did a pretty good job. So stay tuned for more bat reps. We'll see how I do.